Today we're going to get into an area of San Diego that's not really well known, a spot that is a little bit off the beaten path here in northern Vista. This is the foothills we're going to take a look at today, but we're going to start in the downtown area, the kind of old school Vista Village, which is going to kind of set the vibe of what Vista and the foothills have to offer. We're going to take a look at housing, but first we're going to start and go look at the vibe.
So we're starting in the main area of Vista, the downtown area of Vista, Main Street. Before we show you all the houses and neighborhoods, you guys got to know what is, where you're going to be coming, where you're going to be going on date nights, where you're going to go out to dinner, where you're going to go check out. And this is one of the main spots, Main Street Vista right here. This area has been here forever. I'm looking at Vista Village Pub. It's one of the OG spots, but you got Avo Theater back here, the Playhouse, where they got plays and stuff throughout the year. It's connected with Moonlight Amphitheater, which we're going to show you later. But this is the spot, man. This whole area has seen a ton of growth over the past 10, 15 years-ish, where there's new restaurants. I'm looking down here, there's a new sushi spot. There's a new place. Cassie's like, what's that? I don't know. It literally just opened. There's a few breweries here. You have Insane, you have Belching Beaver, there's Prey Brewing up here. So you have some brewery tap houses in here. Burger Bench. One of my sons, I brought him here one time. He's always asking for a Burger Bench. But anyways, you're getting new restaurants in here. You're just seeing a lot of growth in this area. It's becoming a cool spot to come hang out. Cool vibe up here. And there's another area we're going to show you next, Vista Village, a little bit newer. You got some breakfast spots over there. You have some big box stores. So if you're coming here, you're living in Vista, and you're thinking, I like the foothills, but there's nothing to do out here, because it is, like you'll see, a little more rural, a little more spread out. It's going to be like your main area to go check out. Now we'll let you know in a little bit too how far we're from beaches, what's the weather like, and all that kind of stuff. But let's go check out the other side of Vista Village here.
So right now we are in Vista Village, just a stone throw away from kind of that old school downtown Vista area. This is going to be a little less of the vibe that we see in that kind of the downtown area and the foothills, but it is also where you have a lot of your infrastructure. Got Sinopolis, you got a movie theater right here, you have Fraser Farms, there's a great market just around the corner, you got a water park, you got some cool new restaurants that have opened up. You've got Swami's Cafe, which is a local chain here, you got Lamppost Pizza, which is a cool spot to hit. There's a couple other restaurants here and there, but there's just a lot of amenities here. There's a Lowe's right around the corner, there's Petco, there's big grocery stores. So when you're living here in the foothills and looking for more of those like big box shops, they're going to be in this Vista Village area. You'll see when we get out into the foothills, a lot of those kind of like windy roads, not a ton of sidewalk, but they're still only like 10 or 15 minutes from this area. So even though there's not a ton of infrastructure there, it's a quick drive away.
So now we're in the depths of the foothills. We are just not too far from Foothill Drive. And a lot of this area, like some other areas where we cover rural, is like equestrian and that kind of vibe. Back here is a lot of agriculture. So mixed within some of these areas, there's still some farms, there's still some greenhouses, there's still some space where they have some growing ground. So a lot of agriculture back here. They used to grow a bunch of strawberries down in downtown Main Street Vista. They still have the Strawberry Festival every year. So they do have that. And you're gonna find a few infill communities where they're newer, they're gated, but as a whole, more of the vibe is going to be bigger homes, more spread out, more space.
So one of the cons about living here in the foothills is it's not super walkable. Right now we're on one small little path here, but for the most part, you're gonna be walking on roads. Very few sidewalks except for right behind Chris here and a couple other spots, but for the most part, not super walkable. Not a grid system at all here in the foothills. So it's a lot of windy roads. You kind of have to like meander your way back into kind of that downtown area rather than having straight shots pretty much from anywhere. So it is a gorgeous day here, but we're going to kind of get into the details of the weather in a little bit. Some people don't want it too hot, too cold, and we're going to tell you what Vista has to offer. But right now we're going to jump into a house and kind of give you an overview of what you get here in the foothills.
So up in this area, northern San Diego, North County, San Diego, this is where we're at today in Vista. You can see it's a little bit further inland from the coast, downtown San Diego. It's where you have the airport and such. As we're zooming in, this is the area where we started, Main Street Vista. Right down here, this we're gonna find the bars, restaurants, Vista Village Pub, which we walk by, sushi spot down there, Belching Beaver, all kinds of stuff down there. Then we went across to Vista Village where you have the Sinopolis here. Here is the Wave Water Park. And then we mentioned Fraser Farms, Lowe's. So that's a little area that does have some infrastructure here in Vista, but we're just a little bit due east of that. And here is the foothills of Vista. We're gonna show you this property real quick, just to give you an idea of what it's like in this area of Vista, give you a good insight. And so this area of Vista, you're gonna find a ton of different style homes where you have the one we're gonna show you today, We're on about 0.44 acres, but then you get some properties over across Foothill Drive where you get some bigger properties. You have some areas that have like miniature, like if you have like this little section over here off Warmlands, where you see it's a little bit more of that, you know, single family home, kind of a little bit more suburban over here, but still bigger lots. For the most part, when I think of the foothills of Vista, I'm thinking like space, where you have some room on your property, where you have a little bit of land, where you're in some of these winding hills over here. So now we are in our search tool. So if you guys do reach out, this is where we're gonna hook you up on. You have direct access to Casty and I, but this sold earlier this year, 3-bed, 2-bath, just over 1,600 square foot, and a nice large lot just shy of half of an acre. So let's jump into this property and show you a little bit around. It's set back, so you do have some space between the road and the property. As we're going up the driveway, a nice stoop. If you guys could find yourself a stoop, I love myself a stoop, so I think it's bonus points right there. Nice big vaulted ceilings, and you can see it's somewhat updated. It's not brand new, but you can definitely go in here and make it your own. You have the old school fireplace here, and it looks like maybe original windows here. But as you're going through, you can see there's been some upgrades. You have countertops. You have these aren't brand new, like the brand new style of cabinets, but you will find it looks like it's painted. So they did do upgrade it a little bit. As you're going through, you're gonna find that you're gonna see some bathrooms that are somewhat original. Now in here, lower ceilings. So the vaulted ceilings are kind of in that family room, that living room area. Bathrooms a little bit old school as well. So like I said, you're gonna come in here and do a little bit of work. And this property sold for just shy of $900,000. As we are going outside, you can see a ton of space out here. That's the vibe that I get in Vista. This is what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking foothills, where you have a lot of space, you have a little bit of room to roam. And this is kind of more of a rectangular lot, but as you're going through, you're gonna find some lots that are, you know, oddly shaped. You're gonna find some more space. You're gonna find a ton of different types of homes and types of lots out here in this area of Vista. And here's some of the area where we filmed, where we have some drone footage. We can show you these hills in the back. So all of this area is, like I said, all the foothills coming off these hills. Now, there's not like hiking or anything back here, so you're gonna have to go elsewhere to find that, but it is a nice, relaxing vibe in this area of Vista. Now we're at one of the other amenities right here in the foothills area of Vista. We're at Brangle Terrace Park. Big old park. This area's not known for parks, but here's one where you kind of have everything you need. You have, well, first off, there's a huge amphitheater, so they got shows, they got, you know, plays, all that kind of stuff over there, live music, playgrounds, disc golf, huge, giant areas of grass. The guys mowing the lawn were like, dude, he's gonna be here a while because there's a lot going on. Did I already mention disc golf? I think I did, but there's a big auditorium on the other side. You have tennis courts and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, like I said, this is like the main park. As you get out in the foothills, a lot of the stuff you're doing is on your property. You're going to Main Street, like I said. Comparing it to a few other cities like Carlsbad, San Marcos's, you're just not finding a ton, especially in this area of Vista. But great amenity. I remember coming here as a kid. We had family in Vista, we had friends in Vista, so we'd come here for like 4th of July. My pops would play Over the Line. They have the fireworks show here, which they still have. They have the botanical gardens right over here if you want to cruise around there. But anyways, it's just a cool place, cool vibe, cool area to have right here in this section of Vista.
So one bonus neighborhood for you, this is Buena Creek, which is just kind of east of the foothills, kind of still in the foothills of Vista. And it's a really cool neighborhood. A little bit bigger lots, a little bit more spread out. Houses are a little bit bigger. So if you're looking for a little bit more space, this is definitely a good option. Just a really neat feel, like a little bit more rural, but it's only 10 to 15 minutes from that downtown area. So really not that hard to get to a lot of infrastructure. We've helped a bunch of clients and we have a lot of friends that live out here. Actually, right as we parked here, we ran into a past client that bought in Buena Creek about 4 years ago now, and she said they absolutely love it still. So it's always a great sign, but it is one of the neighborhoods in Vista that a lot of people like if they're looking for just rural, larger houses, that custom feel. Like every house on this street is different, which is pretty cool, and you don't see that a ton in North County, San Diego, especially if you're in an area that has more tract housing. So we're at the edge of Vista. So convenience-wise, this isn't going to be the most convenient area. If you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to get to a restaurant, shopping, all that, it's going to be a little bit of a hike, even a little bit further than foothills, but there are some spots that definitely are just that kind of 10 or 15 minute drive away. And we're going to go show you one of those spots right now.
So now we're at another shopping area, and this area has even seen an expansion where we just got out of the foothills. We just passed Brangle Terrace Park, but you have this awesome market here. Like, you need some marinated meats. It's like really good stuff in here. So if you're living in this area, you can go hit this up, go grill at home. But a lot of people who are moving to Vista or San Diego in general, how far is the beach? Right now, most of these areas, probably about 25, 30 minutes, where takes a little time to get down to the freeway, to all like the Carlsbad beaches. So if you want to go explore downtown Carlsbad Village, but over in this area, like I said, you got the market here. Over on the other side, you have Albertsons. There's a newly built Sprouts right over there. So you do have some additional shopping options in this area. Like we said, it's not super convenient. None of this stuff's like right in that neighborhood, but it's within a 10-minute drive of a lot of the places we've been so far. And another thing about living out here is the climate. So if you're moving out to San Diego, you're like, how's the climate? This is kind of that in-between spot where you're not too far inland, say San Marcos. You're not paying those coastal prices of Carlsbad's in certain areas of Oceanside. And the weather is kind of on the same front, where you get a little bit cooler than San Marcos, a little bit warmer than Carlsbad, a little bit less of that marine layer. It's a gorgeous day here. It's a little humid. I don't know. It's a little bit humid in mid-October right now. We get a little humidity here and there, not a ton, but weather-wise, it's pretty gorgeous. I was looking it up. I know there's an old article or something where San Diego or Vista got voted like best weather in the country. I don't know. Maybe I made that up because I couldn't find the article when I looked for it, but either way, it's a good mix of not too hot, not too cold, right in the center of North County, San Diego. And like I said, we've helped a lot of clients move out here, but if you guys are thinking about moving out here and you want to dive in, maybe it's Vista, maybe it's a few other areas, go download our reload guide. The QR code's popping up right now, or we have the link down in the description below, and you get access to San Diego as a whole. You get access to all the local area guides that include Vista. Maybe you want to check out San Marcos, maybe you want to check out a few different areas. So go get that downloaded, or feel free to reach out because we got your back when making the move here to San Diego.